Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 13, the descendants of Dhruv Maharaj. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 13, descendants of Dhruv Maharaj. Text number 14 onwards, till we come to the purport. 14, 13. 4, 13, 13. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pushparnasya prabhavarya dosha chayadve babhuvatu pratar madhyandinam sayam iti hi asan prabhasuta. We'll read the verse that has a purport sequentially. Here I will just read the translations. Pushparna had two wives named Prabha and Dusha. Prabha had three sons named Pratar, Madhyadina and Sayam. So the three sons' names are morning, afternoon and evening. Pradosho nishito vajusta iti dosha sutastraya Vishtasutam pushkarinyam sarvate jasamadade. Dosha had three sons, Pradosha, Nishita and Vyushta. Vyushta's wife was named Pushkarini and she gave birth to a very powerful son named Sarvateja. Sachakshu sutam akutyam patnyam manum avapaha manorasuta mahishi virajanatvala sutam purum kutsam tritam yumnam satyavantam ritam vratam agnistomam atiratram pradyumnam shivim ulmukam. Sarvateja's wife Akuti gave birth to a son named Chakshusha, who became the sixth Manu at the end of Manu millennium. Nadvala, the wife of Chakshusha Manu, gave birth to the following faultless sons: Puru, Kutsa, Trita, Tyumna, Satyavan, Rita, Vrata, Agnistoma, Atiratra, Pradyumna, Shibi, and Ulmukha. Ulmuko janayat putran pushkarinyam shaduttaman angam sumanasam kyatim kratum angirasam gayam. Of the 12 sons, Ulmuka begot 6 sons and his wife Pushkarini. They were all very good sons and their names were Anga, Sumana, Khyati, Kratu, Angira and Gaya. Sunitangasya yapatni susuvevena mulbanam yad dahoshilya sarajarshir nirvinno niragat purat. The wife of Anga, Sunita, gave birth to a son named Vena, who was very crooked. The saintly king Anga was very disappointed with Vena's bad character, and he left home and kingdom and went out to the forest. यमङ्गशेपो कुपिता वाग्वज्रावुनया किल गतासोस्तस्य भूयास्ते ममन्तुर्दक्षिणं करम् अराजके तदा लोके दस्युभिः प्रजा जातो नारायणांशेन पृथुराध्याक्षितीश्वर. My dear Vidura, when great sages curse, their words, when great sages curse, their words are as invincible as a thunderbolt. Thus, when they cursed King Vena out of anger, he died. After his death, since there was no king, all the rogues and thieves flourished. The kingdom became unregulated, and all the citizens suffered greatly. On seeing this, the great sages took the right hand of Vena as a churning rod, and the result of their churning, Lord Vishnu in his partial representation made his advent as King Prithu, the original emperor of the world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Monarchy is better than democracy because if the monarchy is very strong, the regulatory principles within the kingdom are held very nicely. Even 100 years ago in the state of Kashmir in India, the king was so strong that if a thief were arrested in his kingdom and brought before him, the king would immediately chop off the hands of the thief. As a result of this severe punishment, there were practically no theft cases within the kingdom. Even if someone left something on the street, no one would touch it. The rule was that the things could be taken away only by the proprietor and that no one else would touch them. In the so-called democracy, wherever there is a theft case, the police come and take note of the case. But generally, the thief is never caught, nor is any punishment offered to him. As a result of incapable government at the present moment, thieves, rogues and cheaters are very prominent all over the world. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. In this section of the Bhagavatam, the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj are being listed and are being described. Sometimes there are just list of names that come in the Bhagavatam. And we literally don't know, apart from the name, most of these personalities. But they are found there mentioned in the pages of Bhagavatam because they are connected to some great personality or they are involved in a great event. And because of their fortune, they are being mentioned. And some of them truly take that fortune, uh, utilize it, that good fortune they have got of being the descendants of great souls, and go do wonderful services for the mankind. And others, they use or they get proud of the power, the grace that has benefited them and they have inherited such prosperity that they misutilize that prosperity and they become more and more egoistic and more no deep demonic. And here is one such personality being mentioned whose name is Vena. And Vena means crooked. And his father is a great soul. A good father having a bad child. Example is Anga and Vena. A bad father having a good child. Example is Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. And a good father having a good child. What is the example? Huh? No examples?
Yeah.
I want you to think.
Amrish Maharaj.
Do we know his father?
Dasharat Maharaj.
Dasharat Maharaj.
Huh?
Rishabh.
Apart from Avdas,
Rishabh.
Rishabh, Bharat Maharaj. Any other? Good father, good son.
Gaur Mohan Dey Shri Prabhupada.
Huh?
Gaur Mohan Dey Shri Prabhupada.
Gaur Mohan and Shri Prabhupada. Yudhishthir Maharaj and his children, or Arjuna and Abhimanyu, or Abhimanyu and Parikshit. Pandu and Pandavas. So there are many. Bad father having bad son. Let's complete the
I don't know.
permutations.
I don't know whether Shukracharya is bad, but his son are Shandamar.
Yeah. Shukracharya and Chandamarka. Anyone else?
Duryodhana.
Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Or bad father, bad son. Now there is a festival coming up. What is the festival coming up?
Dasara.
Navratri?
No, Sharad
Dasara.
Ravan and Indrajit.
Ravan and Indrajit.
Ravan
Bad.
and also Akshay Kumar.
Akshay Kumar.
So many of them.
Bad father, bad son. And so it's quite surprising that how can a demoniac father have a divine son? And we know it was the intervention of Sri Narada Muni. That Narada Muni, although he was so demoniac, the samskaras that Narada Muni gave to his child, and Satyam Vidatu Nijabhritya Vashitam, that when Narasimhadeva appears, it said that to prove the words of his devotees as true, Satyam Vedatum Nijabhritya Vashitam, the words of his pure devotees, his true devotees, to prove that Stambhe Samayam Namrugam Namanusham, the Lord has appeared in the middle of this assembly from a pillar in the form of Namrugam Namanusham. So there our Acharya Prabhupada says that which devotee's words? Apparently Prahlad Maharaj, because Prahlad Maharaj said, there is the Lord in the pillar. And to prove that that I am actually there everywhere, the one devotee, or usually it is said, God is nowhere, is Hiranyakashipu. And Prahlad Maharaj, God is everywhere. Or some one devotee kind of puts it, God is nowhere, but you, instead of saying nowhere, you say now here. God is now here. When Krishna used to eat makan, so Mother Yashoda used to ask Krishna, Krishna, did you eat makan? Maya, main nahi makan khaya. But he has got it. Krishna is saying, main nahi makan khaya. Main nahi makan khayo, main nahi makan khaya. So to make the words of his devotees true, Krishna came, Prahlad Maharaj, but also to make the words of Brahma true. Namrugam Namanusham. Prahlad Maharaj didn't say that the Lord has to come in this form. Prahlad Maharaj only said, the Lord is there. Which form all that he didn't mention. So the Namrugam Namanusham, that aspect, that form of the Lord is to prove the words of Lord Brahma. That to respect the words of Lord Brahma, that he will not be killed by a man or a human. And by either in the day or in the night, on the earth or in the sky. So, and another Namrugam Namanusham is Prahlad, Brahma's words. But it was also said Narada Muni's words, to make Narada Muni's words true. Also, the Lord came. Because Narada Muni said, this child is a Mahabhagavat. And because this child is a Mahabhagavat, please spare him, do not kill him. And whatever obstacle you are feeling is hampering you, this child will be the cause of removal of that obstacle. So to prove the words of Narada Muni, the Lord came. So it was intervention of a great soul like Narada Muni, who really transformed Prahlad's consciousness to total dedication. Of course, there is the story that Prahlad in the previous life was hunting for a woman, and then he was waiting for a prostitute in a old dilapidated place in the forest, and then he cleaned up the whole place, making the whole arrangement. And that temple, that place was Lord Narasimhadeva's place. It was Narasimha Chaturdashi, so he got the benefit of fasting on Narasimha Chaturdashi, and therefore in the next life he became that pure devotee, Prahlad. But just that Sukriti is not enough. Without that, there may be a lot in the bank, but you need capacity to withdraw it. So that revival of Prahlad's devotion was done by Narada Muni. Once Maharaj was asked this, that is it the Ajnata Sukriti that we have done, or is it the Vaishnava's mercy that we have here? If it is Vaishnava's mercy, then Vaishnava is merciful to so many people, everywhere. Then everybody should become devotee. If it is Ajnata Sukriti, then so if I had not come in contact with this devotee, would I have become a devotee? So Maharaj was asked this question in Vrindavan, long back. So Maharaj said, Ajnata Sukriti just prepares a fertile ground for the seed of Krishna Bhakti to fructify. But the seed of Krishna Bhakti is not a result of our own piety. It is purely the mercy of a Vaishnava that he sows that devotion in us and he cultivates it. So, but Anga, he was so frustrated with his child that he left home. I'm not sure if he left home or he was ostracized, he was thrown away from the kingdom as per the Bhagavatam. That he left before the situation comes where he'll be thrown off. Better to voluntarily move. He was not dependent like Dhritarashtra, that shamelessly sustaining in spite of course, the Pandavas were not disrespecting them. But before the eventual notice comes, as they say, समझदार को इशारा काफी. Prabhupada also says this, that when the in-laws, the son-in-law is staying too much in the father-in-law's home, so the father-in-law gives indication that from ghee, from cooking in ghee, the standards come to oil. And from 4 sabjis, standards come to 2 sabjis. Then Ishara kafi hai, that now they are tired of me. But if somebody is not taking that Ishara, Prabhupada, there is this funny story where the father-in-law had to beat up the son-in-law. Or Radha Govind Maharaj says, घी से दही, दही से छाछ, छाछ से पानी, और पानी के बाद डंडा. In Prabodhananda Saraswati's Vrindavana Shatakam, Ashtakam. So there he writes a verse that what happens when a jiva goes to the Yamaloka. He says that when a jiva goes to the Yamaloka, the Yamadutas make a gesture. As they are allowing that jiva to come inside, the Yamadutas are making this gesture of like this. This kinship, look at me. When I am saying gesture, then it is gesture means something physical. But I do it like this. That ये फिर से आ गया. And the Yamadutas are saying, we don't want you here. And इतना सम्मान करके आपको भेजते हैं, we kind of treat you so disrespectfully, make you suffer. Don't you have shame that after every life you coming again and again to Yamagraha? So that they advise that next time when you go to Bhuloka, you ensure that you go to Vrindavan and you roll in the dust of Vrindavan. So Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Prabhuji, I was waiting. Please. So glorifying Vrindavan, Prabhupada services is that next time you go to Bhuloka, go to Vrindavan, roll in the dust of Vrindavan, and then you will not have to come to Yamagraha, Yamaloka, because we are done with you. We can't see your face again. But as shameless as we are suffering, not giving up our sinful tendencies, doing aparats to Vaishnavas, and then again we going and again facing the Yamadutas. So Vena was so demoniac that Anga was frustrated, and in frustration, before the eventuality of him being thrown out of the palace, he voluntarily left. Therefore, when you are in a position and you are seeing that you are not able to contribute or your contribution is not being accepted well, it is best to move before the fatwa, before you are told to leave. But people tend to get attached to their positions. Position is security. And politicians and so many in the homes also, people don't leave that situation. But Anga, being a great devotee, said that my son, and also understanding that although he may be my son, everybody is carrying his own karma. Sometimes, we kind of wonder, there's such a great devotee, nice devotee. Why is this child like this? No, in Bhagavatam only we have situation, because some just don't take that fortune that we have got. Even the fortune that we have received from Prabhupada. We can just feel, uh, be comfortable, enjoy our stay right now, and then not really contribute, so that for the next generation there is something. I was going to many places in this visit, and most of the visits were places that I went, devotees are thinking of moving to a bigger place, because when Prabhupada's disciples started, they started it mostly in cities, and it was like some church or some houses. And they are falling short, they are breaking down. And also, in those times, people looked for actual substance. Wherever they got, because they were actually eager. But Prabhupada, later years, especially when he went to India, he didn't just rent storefronts in India. No, he wanted magnificent temples to be built. Knowing the psychology of materialism, that people, if they are seeing something grand, then they feel nice to go. But if something is small and little, then they don't like to go. Oh, this is how? This is not a temple. Temple means grand. So therefore, many places, devotees are working hard to gather Lakshmi, to build Columbus, Cincinnati, Boston, St. Louis, so many places. And I was telling them that Prabhupada's generation, Prabhupada's disciple generation, they brought the movement to an extent and they did wonders. But we cannot just sit on it and say, no, my life will naturally get spent without doing much. But we have to take the movement to the next level. Our generation's gift should be giving much better facilities, much better strategies of cultivating people, of our facilities. Because in the previous generation, they had this inborn habit of giving donations. But this coming generation, the whole concept of donation is not there. It is service exchange. That you offer some service, you say give prasadam, we will pay for that extra. In that form we will give donation. But plainly giving to Krishna without anything, that kind of mindset is going. The previous generation it was there. Because the temples have to sustain, we have to offer such kind of facilities. And here there is Govindas, and I was looking at the price list. If you compare with Indian kind of thing, you think. But people are willing to offer because they don't want to go through that hard work and can't make the quality of prasad that is available in the temples. So Anga, understanding that in this situation I cannot compromise my own spiritual life in trying to make this person devotee. That sometimes we spend so much energy that on something that is not really responding, that ultimately it is said that the operation may be successful, but the doctor dies. Operation successful, doctor dead. We have heard of operation successful, patient dedication. But in preaching, operation successful. But in making that person or that project bring up, you spend so much energy that spiritually you are dead. That you don't take care of your health, you didn't take care of your sadhana because you are in that achievement mode. That isko khada karna hi hai. Of course, in one sense it is a sacrifice, but Krishna doesn't appreciate self-sacrifice. Once Maharaj was asked in Chopati, Maharaj, that some devotees are so dynamic, they are doing so much for Prabhupada's mission. But their gas runs out after some years and they are not to be seen in the moment only. They chant so much or they serve so much and then they get burnt out. You don't see them. So then Maharaj said, so being dynamic is good, but don't be a dynamite. Dynamite blows up. Better is steadily going on, not going to the drain, that we are not draining ourselves spiritually. And being happy in performing our bhakti and going to the next. So here when the father left, then the sages who are not supposed to intervene into management. The brahmanas, they are supposed to give just principles. You give the guidance, but you don't micromanage. I told you that why did you cook this or why did you make like this. Brahmanas give guidance. If they accept guidance, they will be benefited. If they don't accept guidance, they don't go and try to get clarification. मैंने तुमको बताया था, but still you did, why did you do? Brahmana's job is give guidance. But Kshatriya, if everybody is like that, then there can't be any accountability. So Kshatriya's duty is whatever the guidance Brahmanas are doing, giving, ensure that the citizens do it. So Chandragupta Maurya, Chandragupta, in his kingdom, if somebody is a say sadhu, he used to ensure that they are actually sadhu, not allowing anyone to wear saffron clothes or anything just like that. So ensuring that Brahmanas give the principles, how should be one, or if somebody is a Vaishya, so to ensure that they are properly in that varna and ashram. So here it's a very rare case. It's called as Swadharma and Apadharma, regular duty and emergency duty. So in emergency, devotees have to do everything. Whatever is needed, we do. But we don't stay in that zone forever. We ensure that the proper person who can take care of that service-based units is handed over. And herein, so they create the churn, a unique technology. Even till now, it has not come. Of course, here this churning that is done, a similar thing is done in science when they do this test tube and other things. What they do is that they separate the different components of the embryo by putting that, say that blood sample from which they have to collect DNA or that, what is it called? Cloning. So when they do, then they do have to clone. So they need the exact which DNA is different things. So what they do is they put that particular blood sample or DNA into a centrifuge. So when they put into a centrifuge, then the heavy items go far, the light items are near, something like that. So something like churning, which modern science uses to clone a person. But here we have kind of cloning from churning, and Krishna has agreed to come through that churning, through the sinful body of Vena. Krishna has chosen to come, just like a lotus. From the muddy waters, a lotus can come. Prabhupada here is mentioning that if monarchy is not proper, then the Brahmanas have the right to take charge, to settle things, like even Chanakya. That's what he did. So therefore Prabhupada always said, I won't be king, I want to be kingmaker. I'll guide the king. So this is some lessons, reflections that we can learn. Prabhupada mentioning about severe punishment. If you punish severely, then nobody is willing to make that mistake. The king of Kashmir, he chopped hands of the theft. Then nobody is willing to, or I think someplace the monkeys were doing a lot of mischief. So one monkey's head was chopped off and was put on display. And all the monkeys, they became afraid and they didn't go to that place. So but Kshatriyas do that too. In India, the traffic police, there are fines. But few years back, the fine for coming near to the traffic light or the junction, they raised it to 10,000 rupees. If you cross that zebra crossing and come ahead. So one day I was going and I saw that everybody is behind. So then I got to know because of the fine. Because in Kali Yuga, pockets matter. If something hurts the pocket, then it pinches the heart. The ear goes deaf. इतना भी बोलो, these days, लाखों के बहुत बातों से नहीं मानते. So that that is important, that for establishing a principle sometimes, like even Sri Chandra Mahaprabhu, he apparently punished Chota Haridas Thakur. So all the sannyasis and renunciants are very careful in associating with opposite sex. Although he had just gone for begging for some rice to cook for Mahaprabhu. But begging is not wrong. But in the process of begging, he kind of was having kind of casual conversation with an old lady, not even a young lady. And Mahaprabhu, just to set the precedence of importance, so he banished Chota Haridas Thakur. So sometimes when we hear this story, we brahmacharis become very afraid. तो क्या क्या करते हैं? What all we have to do for preaching? Cultivate people, girls, or talk to Mataji. So, but that precedence is there, just so that we are alert. And Prabhupada also, this. Then Prabhupada said, Mahaprabhu, I set that standard, but I am not Mahaprabhu. Nityananda, who is compassionate, so we take shelter from Nityananda, who forgives us and he engages us in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's seva. Therefore, Nitai Chandra is our hope, that he doesn't see our faults, our limitations. He engages us in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's seva. I'll stop here. Any reflection, any question?
Yes, right. That point you said, right, that people get attracted to big temples whom they'll not come. Actually, we have seen here also. We were in Canton, we were doing program in home, only like 5 to 6 people used to come. Then we took a big place, around 50 people started coming. So yeah, they are really actually,
Yes.
in US for sure I know that they are getting attracted to big temples. That's why they go to Hindu temple, like around thousands of people will be there in Hindu temple, but here only one Krishna is. There are so many gods,
So many
who go
gods.
there. Like that they think.
True. So therefore we have to, for this generation to connect to this generation, different types of people are there, but one type of people is where they need grand. They need to feel the grandness of Krishna. And Prabhupada, even in 70s, in India he built grand temples. In America he didn't mention. New Vrindavan he made grand. So based on what is the way they can get attracted. Prabhupada made this in New York, Luglus, these laddus. Just to prasad people can get attracted. Okay. Granthashram Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much for giving me your Sangha these 4 days. Very grateful.
His Grace Mohan Prabhu ki
Yeah.
1 minute. Could you close? Hare Krishna devotees on Zoom. If anybody wants Prabhuji's book, please let us know. Let us Bhagavad Acharya Prabhu knows. We have some copies. It's a wonderful book to study for all of us. I read it and I find it very useful. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji. If you look at,
Why do you take these photos?
you put the
Thumbnail.
YouTube thumbnail. After you put a name.
धर्म and आपात धर्म बोले आप, right?
Swadharma and Apad Dharma.